Are you trying to start a YouTube channel or develop your content creation so that you can monetize it out in social media? Today, I am breaking down 10 of my best tips that I have learned as sorry about that. I am showing you 10 of the top tips that I have learned as a social media marketing educator and speaker inside of YouTube. So let's break down 10 of those tips now that my tech glitches have happened, which is my bonus. Sometimes tech glitches happen. So the more you know your space and know your buttons and know what to do should something happen, you are going to be able to Oh, it gave me another thing. Wow, it's been a rough one. The more you're going to be able to cope with what is going on inside of your live streams or inside of your videos or inside of your platform. So let's jump into those 10 tips before I have any more tech issues today. Number one is to be as protective as possible when it comes to your space because nobody else is going to be looking out for you. You will have people who want to take your time, your effort, your energy, your space, and it's going to be really hard to say no to people because we as humans typically want to help other people out. We want to give of our time and our efforts, and sometimes you just have to put up those boundaries and barriers so that you can be able to function. It's very much like in the airplane situation where they say put your oxygen mask on first before helping other people. Make sure you are protecting your space. And you have to be the one to monitor these things and really take action when something is not going well, which actually brings us into the second one. It is your community. And if protecting your followers means deleting, blocking, or reporting, you need to do that without giving it a second thought. So that means if you have people who are coming and leaving mean comments, not necessarily negative comments or controversial comments, but they are attacking you or your fans or a people group or something that is not correct. If they're going after things and causing problems or intending to cause harm to people, you are responsible for protecting that community. So you're responsible for protecting your own space, but also for protecting the people who are following you. On your YouTube channel, you're going to gain more followers, more students, more listeners, and the more people that are there seeing things, the more ick you're going to have left on your page. So I always think things through. If it's just going to impact me, sometimes I'll leave it. If I'm okay with people saying not nice things about me, that's okay. But if it's going to hurt somebody else in the process, then I'll automatically get rid of it. Sometimes it comes down to really just blocking people, or if it's really bad, reporting them. And you shouldn't feel guilty doing that. I know a lot of people come to me with discussions on feeling guilt by blocking somebody or not allowing somebody in their space. And we just have to kind of understand that we're protecting the community as a whole, and it's not being mean to that person to kick them out of our space. It is protecting our entire community, which is one of the things we really need to be focused on, because if we aren't protecting our community, they're not going to come to us as a safe space to learn, which means we're going to lose a lot of our community. Now, the next thing that I've learned is the more content you put out in the world, the faster you're going to grow. So if you're posting one video per week, that means you're going to grow at that rate. But if you bump it up to 2 videos per week, you're going to grow faster. And if you bump it up to 3 videos a week, you're going to grow faster. And if you put a video out per day, you're going to grow significantly faster. So you have the ability to control the rate at which you're growing and scaling your YouTube page. You have the ability to decide when you are going to get to some of those milestones. Now, obviously, you cannot control how many people are going to follow you and how many watch hours you're going to get. But the more you put out, the more opportunities they have to see you, engage with you, and to rank up and get that watch time higher. Remember, to monetize on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So if you're only putting out one video per month, how long is it going to take you to get those numbers? Probably a really long time. So the more you put out, the faster you're going to grow. You shouldn't burn yourself out, but you should be making the effort to put your best foot forward and understand you're going to grow in a scaled way compared to how much content you are putting out. So if you want to grow faster, put more content out in the world, which actually brings us to the next one, all about your content creation quality. Now, one of the things I hear a lot from people is, but if I spend less time doing video content creation and if I put more things out, it's going to tank my quality. No, actually, it's not. Now, for some people, that may be the case, but that's few and far between. When it comes to creating content, the more you do it, the more streamlined you make your process. So I started out doing one video per week because the people who were educating me on this said that's all you can and should do. And then I bumped it up to 2 and I saw significant growth. But because I was creating more content, I was able to hone in on what worked really well for me. So at 2 videos per week, I was learning how to speak better on camera, how to develop stronger conversations inside what I was creating in my videos. I was learning how to edit better. And then when I started bumping it up even more, I learned how to streamline it. Now I'm doing 1 or more videos per day, every single day on my YouTube platform. And because I'm doing it so quickly, I have my editing down to a science. I have my content creation in general down to a science. I can be very, very quick. So when I'm creating a video, the longest piece of the entire thing is the actual recording of the video, because whatever content I'm delivering cannot be delivered any faster unless I talk faster. And I try to make sure that we're doing it on a level that people can understand. So as I'm creating this, the bulk of my time is just doing that filming, because you have to deliver the content you have to deliver. But editing, all of the uploading process, I've streamlined so very quickly that it does not take me more than a few seconds to get through things, to check things. If I want to watch it all the way through, I will. But because I've gotten to the level where I understand the content that I am putting out into the world, I'm very, very good about doing self-editing and correcting as I go. So it becomes very easy to create high quality content in a faster way. Then once you've done that, you have the ability to learn how to improve it. So you can start working on graphics. You can start working on how you're saying things and how you're delivering things. And you can change up how you're doing it to make it even more of a streamlined process. So the more content you create and put out in the world, the more you're going to learn how to make it higher end in a lesser time frame. And it is a total game changer when you get to that point. Now, when you are on YouTube, and if you are jumping on the live stream, hello and welcome. Go ahead and let me know where you're joining us from. The 5th thing that I've learned is that you know that you've made it on YouTube when you start getting hate comments and threats, because a lot of these things are going to come your way when you start to see eyeballs on your videos. So the more comments you are getting, the more you have to moderate what you're doing, the more you know you're being shown inside of the algorithm system, and you are going to be continuing to grow and to scale what you're doing. Now, it's important to remember that a lot of these are copy and paste trolls. Not all of them. Some of them will be attacking you personally, but some of them are going to feel like personal attacks until you realize that this is the same one I saw last week from a different person. They're just copy and pasting it. And once you learn that, you can kind of process that it's not about you. It's not about your content. It's not about what you're doing. And you can easily take care of that. And that goes back to one of our earlier points where you're protecting your space and you're protecting your community. So you can block, you can delete, you can report, you can do whatever you need to do. You don't have to engage or respond with these things. You can just get rid of them. And oftentimes, if they're really bad things, there are certain keywords or triggers. YouTube will be aware of this and YouTube will take care of it on your behalf. That does not mean you won't get a notification about it, because every once in a while they don't delete it fast enough and I still get a notification with something really, really horrible, but it's not there when I go to take care of it. So they're taking care of it, but sometimes you'll get the notifications. Now, the nice thing about this is as you're learning how to deal with these trolls and these hater comments, you are also going to learn how to develop that tough skin. And the more you do that, the more it parlays over into your in-person life. So when people are kind of not nice to you in person, you're going to learn a lot about how to handle that, how to react or not react to that, and how to deal with these things in real life, because you've developed this way of handling it in your social space as well. So you know you're starting to make it when you get the icky comments. You are responsible for taking care of you, so you can get rid of all those things that you don't want on your platform. And it's really, really helpful to learn how to identify those trolls, because for the most part, you're going to see a lot of the same things over and over and over again, because particular people on the internet don't have the creativity to come up with their own. It's sad, but it's true. Now we are moving on to our number 6. And if you are somebody who live streams or who creates videos on YouTube in a daily capacity, I want to hear from you. Give me your best tips so we can help each other grow as we're continuing this journey on YouTube. So when you are creating content in a niche, this is one of my favorites, companies are going to start paying attention. So if you specify what you're doing, as opposed to being very multidimensional and talking about this and this and this and this, when you streamline, companies are going to start coming to you for sponsored posts. I have never, to this point, had to go seek out a brand deal because they keep coming to me. I keep saying I'm going to. I keep making the effort to do it, but then I get bogged down by work because people are finding my TikTok or my YouTube channel or whatever it is. And because I'm streamlined, they can tell what my audience is. They want to pay me to market their products or their services within the context of the content that I'm creating. So the more specific you are and more clear about who you're educating or who you're speaking to, the more likely you are to have that streamlined, very specific audience. And when you have that specific audience, people will reach out to you. That does not mean you shouldn't be taking the initiative to get these deals if that's something you want to do. But be aware, as you grow on YouTube especially, once you start creating content and you've got a very streamlined content with a very specific audience, you're going to see people reaching out to you on a very frequent basis to work with you in paid capacities. And you do not want to miss that opportunity because you decide to do a little bit of fashion and a little bit of music and a little bit of shopping and a little bit of home decor and a little bit of mommy stuff, because then it's all over the place and it's not going to help you. So you want to make sure you're as streamlined as possible so people understand who your niche is and want to work with you. Now, another thing that I have learned that has been incredibly helpful is to use your videos everywhere. I want you embedding these on your website. I want you putting these in articles that you're writing. I want you sending these out if you are writing articles for somebody else. I frequently write articles for other companies, or I'm quoted in different articles for different companies, and I'll say, I have a tutorial on this. Would you like this? And they'll include it there too. So you do not just have to rely on YouTube to get views on your videos. You can take your videos and embed them elsewhere or put them out on social media, tweet them, put them on your LinkedIn, put them in your Facebook page or on your group or whatever it happens to be. You can even reference it inside of your TikTok and Instagram Reels videos and then link to the bio or refer them back to the bio where you've got that link in bio and direct them here. Instagram stories is fantastic because they have a link now that can send it directly to these videos. So you can draw attention to these things by embedding it, by putting it on your website, blogs, and articles, by putting it on your social media and send views, which if you're monetized, means you make more money. So you can do your own advocating with these videos as well to get more eyes on those. And we are going to be continuing to talk about how you can be doing this as an entrepreneur here on the channel. So if you have not hit the subscribe and notification bell, now is the time, because we want to make sure that you are growing on social media in a way that saves you time and effort so you can get back to running your businesses and living your best lives. Now, when it comes to creating your content on YouTube, one of the most important things is your thumbnail. Thumbnails are incredibly important because we judge a book by its cover. Yes, people are on Google and people are on YouTube searching for specific things. So your SEO-worthy title is incredibly important. But once they start typing things in, people are going to get search results. And now we have to judge things. Titles are great for finding these things, but titles may not be the thing that ultimately makes them decide yes or no, this is the video I want. Typically, people are looking for two things: the fact that you're looking professional, meaning your thumbnail, and your time length. So people do not want to waste time on this. They're going to look for shorter, more condensed videos that get them the same answer. Outside of that, they're going to be looking at those thumbnails to see if it's a good fit. So I've got lots of videos on how to be creating the best possible thumbnails for you, how to pose for your thumbnails, all of those things on the channel. So make sure you follow along for those and check out those videos. If you need them, go ahead and let me know. I'll be happy to drop those for you. But you're going to be making incredibly engaging thumbnails, and you have to do your research on what your industry or your niche is, because they're all different. People who do like beauty vlogging is going to look very different than somebody like me who does social media marketing strategy. It's going to look very different from somebody that does just entertaining content. That's going to look very different than the gaming community. So you have to look and see what makes sense, what the highest performing ones are, and do things similar with your own little spins. Bright, colorful is important, and words that have those emotional triggers on them are going to be really important for getting people to click on your thumbnails to make sure that they're watching your videos. Number 9, what you think your audience wants and what you think your audience wants and what they actually need are two very different things. Random content creation is not going to get you very far, but a research strategy is going to help you thrive. So what does that mean? Oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we think that our audience wants to see these certain things. We have this preconditioned list in our heads of bullet points that we think our audience needs to know. But oftentimes they don't care. Those are things that do not matter to them. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't impact what they are doing. They're looking more for other things. So you got to do your research. You have to be doing your keyword research, your SEO title research. You have to make sure that you are doing research inside of your community on what they want. Even for me, I will frequently create really good, high quality, very engaging and educational videos, and not a ton of people care about it. Even if I've done my SEO research, even if I have a really good keyword or a really good title that a lot of people will be searching or should be searching, sometimes we miss the mark. So we have to make sure we're not only creating content that will be easily searched, but also content that they do in fact need. So that does not mean that everything you need to do has to revolve around things that are easily Googled or are Googled frequently. Sometimes you need to give that supplemental content, things that support your audience and what they're learning and how they're growing, and those will have less views, and that's fine. That's completely okay and should be on your channel. What shouldn't be on your channel is just clickbaity stuff, and what shouldn't be on your channel is just stuff you have contributed to them. If you say you need this, but they don't want it, you're not going to grow. So you've got to do your research inside of your community and inside of the internet as a whole to see what is going to work best so that you can grow on your platform, but help them grow on theirs as well. And number 10, you have to constantly grow and innovate in your space, because if you become stagnant, somebody else is going to grow past you. If you get boring, if you don't innovate, if you're not doing things, if you're not exceeding expectations, people are going to just shoot right on by you. You do not want people to overtake what you're doing and just put you on the back burner. So you have the ability to outrank everybody if you put the effort in. Because remember, being stagnant keeps you where you are, and other people will go past you, but you also have the ability to be the person that goes past everybody else. So if people aren't innovating and changing things, they're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, they're going to stay at that level. You want to make sure that you're innovating, you're coming up with new creative ideas, you are leveling up your content in how you're creating it or what you're saying or how you're editing it or whatever, to make sure you're relevant. If you stay in the same place, you're not going to grow. We say this a lot, but what got you to where you are today is not going to get you to where you are tomorrow. So you have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to be leveling up, and you have to get people to that next level with you if you want to keep growing, especially on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. You want to make sure that you are innovating and changing. We see this a lot on TikTok, where people will take a trend and then innovate it, and it becomes really popular. Innovation will level you up. So you have to make sure you're constantly growing, learning new techniques, putting more effort into it, trying new things, and getting to that place where you are going to be outranking people because you are trying new things and testing things out and giving your audience what it is that you want. So these are 10 things that I have learned as being a YouTuber who is dropping daily content. I want to hear from you. If you've got questions on these, go ahead and drop those down below. I would love to hear your tips and tricks. If you are somebody who posts on YouTube frequently, you don't have to be a daily poster, but several times a week. Let us know what you've learned along the way that can help each other, and drop your YouTube or any social media questions down below. We drop daily videos here, so hit that subscribe and notification bell, and I will see you in our next live stream episode to help you level up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, in live streaming, and with the tools and resources you need to save time and effort on social media so you can get back to running your business and living your best life while still running a highly profitable